So before you came, you felt you had a question?
There were a few questions.
Tough to get them back?
Yes,
They don't seem so relevant now.
yes, I don't think they seem as relevant now. I'll still go ahead
Yes,
and ask.
please.
I think the question that keeps coming up again and again. About awakening your true self, and all the stories that we've read of the different masters who've woken up. Like the stories we've read about, I remember reading this about Major Chadwick, who, and then different people like
What
Brian
happened?
Katie.
What happened with Major Chadwick? He went to Bhagwan and then?
Yes, and then I think he'd asked something, and then Bhagwan had told him who is the one who's asking this question.
Yeah.
And then he was spellbound, and then I think he went back to his room and room for a few days.
Yeah.
And then he was not thinking of anything at all, and then suddenly he says that while he was having a bath in the bathtub, so many times, it struck him what Bhagwan had said, and he awakened to his true self. And
did he run out shouting "Eureka, Eureka"? No.
Something like Archimedes also did that, right? Yes. So it seems that all these masters and people who have woken up, like even Brian Katie or Eckhart, it seems that
these were pretty sober, no? Relatively, these two were.
Yes. So, like Moji Baba and yourself and everybody else, they say that we're already that, right? It still seems like there is something that has to unfold, and for you to be established in that, and then you see everything in you, everything from a fresh pair of eyes, as if, right? So, what is it that has to really? What is it that, because if you're already in that, established in that so beautifully, is it just a shift of power? Is it something that has to happen, and then you say it's not happening, right? So, but then you're looking at it from a different pair of eyes altogether. The world is different and it's beautiful and happy. So is it the shift of, like you say, from the mind to the heart, that journey? That has to, it has those words of Bhagwan or yourself have to land in the heart, and then it just happens. I guess that was what I was thinking.
Okay. This is good. So what we can do is, this is good. There are a few aspects to the question, isn't it? One is that we started with experiences and why different so-called beings seem to have different experiences of awakening. So let's keep that question for the end, about the experiences. So let's, if you can forget about it, forget about it. But the other question is more relevant. What is it that needs to happen, and what are we doing here, isn't it? That's more relevant. This happens between the sage, so to speak, and myself, and how do I fill the gap, if there is any, isn't it? Okay, so let's deconstruct it. Actually, it's not easy to deconstruct, but let's see if we can. So the first aspect is that the recognition of who you are should happen. You see? So this recognition, who am I in reality, needs to happen. Mm. So when you check on this question, who am I, to get to this recognition, then what is your discovery? Mm. So what's your discovery? It doesn't have to be articulate, just whatever is coming up. Yeah.
Definitely not to do with me at all as a person,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Not at all to do with.
So you see that I cannot be a person. Okay.
Yes.
Then what else could you be? What else is here?
Mm-hmm.
You can do niti niti on it, no? So
Yes.
cannot be this world, cannot be this body.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Tell me when it gets stuck in some way.
Yes, sure.
Cannot be this body. Can you be your thoughts coming and going? Can you be your emotions? Can you be some sensation in the body, some physical pain? No. Can you be the sense that I am, I exist? Can you be that? Is it clear what this means, the sense I am?
Yes, there is a sense.
That I exist. So can you be that?
Perhaps, yes. Seems like that.
Yes. And the one that is aware even of this sense, who is that one? So we walk together this way. Now we saw not world, not body, not thoughts, not emotion. I am aware of even this sense that I am. So this one that is aware, what can we say about that one?
That's the awareness you talk about always, right?
So better to forget what you heard before.
Yes.
Just stay here and see. So there is an awareness even of the sense that I exist. And if this is not clear, we can look at it again.
Yes, absolutely. That's clear. Yes.
It's clear. So this awareness, what does this awareness look like?
It's just there.
And where are you in relation to this?
Sometimes I'm looking from there.
Okay, where else? Possible?
It's always possible to look there.
Can you step out of that awareness? So if you can't step out of it, do you need to be in it effortfully?
No.
Effortlessly, where are you?
From that watching itself, yes.
Can you ever move away from this? Can you ever become something else?
Actually, not.
Actually, not. You're not visualizing anything, no? Even if the mind is offering some visual to you, see who is the witness of even that visual. So when we say, are you aware now? What is your answer?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. What does this awareness look like?
It's just there.
Just here. Any attributes you can say?
It's just looking, right? That's what it said.
Yes. So this is the only confirmation that you can make without the phenomenal experience of it, isn't it?
Yes.
Everything else that we are confirming, we are referring to the phenomenal experience of it. When you say, I am aware now, you're not finding the phenomenal attribute of it, and yet you know it is true. Not mentally, but it is so clear prior to mind.
Yes.
Yes. And you see that this cannot be changed. It's unmoving, unconcerned, unlabelable. So like this, when we come to satsang, the first aspect is this recognition of what is true. And I feel using the pointers of the masters, it's become very simple now. You see? So this is the first aspect. When you say what is the difference between myself and a sage like Guruji, then first is this recognition is very clear. So it's very good that we are able to inquire together and look at this. Like when I'm not in satsang, it seems like a lot more distractions come. It doesn't seem as clear as it is now. You see, that's why it's good to be in the energetic presence of satsang to be able to check. Yes, it's so clear. So this is the recognition. So does the recognition itself mean liberation? Not necessarily. Because what happens is, although it is a very helpful aspect of liberation, it is not necessarily that which we call the completion of the liberation, because we might still go back into belief.
Absolutely.
I'm believing that which I am not. You see, because the recognition was what? I am this awareness. It is not changing, nothing is happening to it, it's just here. Yeah? But our mind is not reporting like this. Our mind is still trying to convince us that we are a person in some way, including trying to convince us that I got it now, or something like this. You see? So this mind has been given a lot of belief in the past. You see? So the difference between the sages and the rest of humanity is that they are not, one, they have had a clear recognition of who they are, and second, they are not believing what the mind is saying about them.
Yeah. To be established in that. Always.
Yes, actually, the established is how you start the moment. This is a little contrary to our idea of establishing or abiding. But I'm a bit radical in that way, so and I'm happy to look at it together. You start now, established, no? You are abiding. Mm. So the only seeming choice now seems to be whether you pretend to be a person or not. And the only way to pretend to be a person is to believe your thought. Is there any other way? Yeah. So every moment is your best friend now. You are established, you are abiding as the self. In fact, you never leave this position. We only pretend if we believe our thoughts. So the power of belief is our power to pretend. God's power to pretend. So you want to see God pretending to be a person? Believe your next thought. You see? So then what happens as we stay like this, not believing our thoughts, not picking up from the conveyor belt of thoughts, then you find the magnetism of these thoughts reduces. You see? As the magnetism of these thoughts reduces, then you find that they're not so much attractive even to our attention. You see? So instead of trying to control our attention too much, what we've done is we've divested our belief. And with the divestment of belief, you find that attention is also not so attracted to these thoughts. You see? So then you had a clear recognition of who we are, and also that all these thoughts are allowed to come and go. Then even in your phenomenal expression, there is no difference between you and a sage. Fundamentally, there was never any difference anyway, isn't it? In reality, we are that. That is what all the sages are saying. But even in the phenomenal expression, expression, and we're not attracted to the gravitational pull of these thoughts, to the magnetic pull of these thoughts, then your worldly expression also becomes that of a sage. That's about it. So happy you came.
Very happy. I love Papaji also.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it when I saw that you're in Bangalore. You know?
Yeah.
Right here. All these books
Keep
on
little close.
Vedanta. They
All
make
the
it
books
sound
on
so
Vedanta,
esoteric,
yes.
and well, it's actually quite clear. There's nothing wrong with the books. It's just
Yeah.
I think when the time when you're reading the same words, they seem to have a
Different meaning. Yeah.
isn't it? Like
Yes.
it seems like that all the while I was reading the same Rumi poem, and the depth from I think Muji Baba's and your satsangs, they made it so clear. Otherwise, it was all
Yeah.
so many
Yes.
concepts and so many different, and then it makes it so clear and obvious.
So what has happened is that we are moving from the realm of interpretations. You see? So we've been interpreting them differently, and now we come to the realm of just the pure seeing of it. So as you see that, oh, yes, of course, he's just saying what is being seen here. So the words of the expression are very beautiful, but that which is directly is just the same. So now in the same way, when you read the Ashtavakra or Ribhu Gita, you say that this is just so fundamental.
Yes.
That which seemed so esoteric and maybe even mystical earlier,
Yes.
now will seem just like kindergarten.
Yes. Almost do away with it now. And
Yes, don't come to any conclusion.
yes. So right about that.
Because the mind offers up, even now, will offer up strategies to say, yes, you're here now, now you can do it.
So
Just
right about that.
just
Yeah.
let it go. You don't need to renounce anything except the next thought.